On this week's episode of the Indie Center podcast, we sit down with actor, model, author, and CEO Milon V. Parker. But before we get into that, a word from our sponsors. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. I could probably end the list right there, but I'm going to continue. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. Speaking from personal experience, creating a podcast felt so overwhelming. I didn't know where to start, but using Anchor was a no-brainer. Their website and app is user-friendly. You're able to navigate through it easily. It's pretty cool, guys. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. And it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. A one-stop shop. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. This episode of the Indie Center podcast is brought to you by Spotify, the place where you can listen to your favorite artists and podcasts for free. Did you hear me? You don't even need a premium membership. Spotify has a huge catalog of podcasts on every topic, including the one you're listening to right now. On Spotify, you can follow your favorite podcast so you never miss an episode. Are you subscribed to me yet? Wink, wink. Premium users can download episodes to listen to offline wherever you are. And that is so convenient. How many times have you found yourself in an airplane or driving down a road with no reception and you just want to escape but can't? You are stuck sitting next to somebody that snores, or you're stuck in a meaningless conversation and you just want to listen to podcasts. Well, now you can, guys. And you can easily share what you're listening to with your friends on Instagram. So if you haven't done so already, be sure to download the Spotify app and search for Indie Center Podcast on Spotify, or browse podcasts in the Your Library tab. Also, make sure to follow me so you never miss an episode. All right, episode number 30. I am here. This list is so long, and I'm pretty sure there's more to it. We have an actor, writer, producer, director, published author, model. Am I missing anything? I know it's so much. Am I missing anything?
I think you said producer, executive producer.
Yeah. There you go. I'm here with MVP. How's it going?
Man, everything's going all right. With this whole stay at home, just trying to make things happen. Stay sane.
How are you keeping yourself sane? How are you keeping yourself artistically fit?
Well, I'm an essential worker, so I still have to go out into the world. So yeah, I won't touch on that too much, but besides everything else, I'm an essential worker still.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So with that laundry list of things that you've done, you're accomplished. You're in Amazon, you're in Walmart, you have your movies out on DVD. Yeah. Man, I love the hustle. But I want to get down to where it all started. How did you get into modeling?
Man, I'm going to go down memory lane for you for a minute. It was actually in 2005. I was at the club, and I don't know, like ever since I've been young, I've been kind of popular. People like the way I dress, my whole demeanor, and whatnot. So I was at the club, and a female by the name of Danielle Jones, who's actually my best friend now, and one of my best men who will be in my wedding coming up, she approached me and she gave me a flyer, and it said Hard Candy casting call for androgynous women to be a part of their Hard Candy calendar, which was for breast cancer.
Okay.
So she gave me the flyer. I'm like, all right, thanks, whatever. I put it in my back pocket, didn't think much of it. When I got home, threw it around somewhere, and like a couple of months later, as I was cleaning up, I found the flyer. So I reached out to her, and that's when it all started. I started doing like print with them, and it just went from there. And I gained 2 friends out of that, and just the Hard Candy calendar, and yeah,
So this just popped out of nowhere. Like you didn't have you growing up, you didn't look at the models and be like, man, one day. You didn't think that?
You know what? It's crazy you say that because I remember when I was 5, my father used to take pictures of me, so many pictures, and I was so photogenic then. So I loved being in front of the camera, but I didn't actually model. What I mean by that is I used to do shows at the club, like Panama, like different artists, just like, acting out the music, the songs, doing the dance. So I love being in front of the camera.
Mm.
And I used to take so many pictures with phones, regardless when, you remember MySpace and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Just putting them up on there. But I mean, I wanted to be a model, but I didn't think it was possible, until I actually met her. And man, years later, so many other androgynous models out there. So yeah.
You know what? You're saying MySpace and you're saying back in the day when you were younger, you don't age for shit. I wanted to say that earlier, but man, you look like you're 18 for the past 20 years. I don't know what you do. Black don't crack. I don't know what the fuck it is.
I appreciate that. I actually have great genes. My great grandmother will be 106 in August.
No shit.
Yeah, we have great. Nobody in our family actually looks to age. I don't even have any gray hair, and I'm 41.
You're 41. I'm 30. I look like what you're supposed to look like.
You look young too.
No, fuck out of here. Man, I look like George Costanza off of Seinfeld.
Oh no.
So they gave you the postcard to be a model on the calendar. Did you go through any training afterwards? Did that catch your interest to get into something?
You know what? I can't even say that I really went through training with that. I guess it was just like a gift, like just being in front of the camera since the age of 5. Just loving the pose and it just came so freely, so natural.
Really?
Yeah, it did. Like the training that I do say as far as like the actual walk in the runway, I give props.
Mm-hmm.
I give props to Blake Martin Productions. He's a producer here in Chicago. He produces fashion shows. That was actually my second fashion show. My first one was in Macy's downtown, but it was off of the strength that I knew a guy who was doing a fashion show, but it was something I wanted to get involved with. But Blake Martin, he had his own fashion shows where a lot of people would come out, and he actually had rehearsals for his models. So I already had a walk, but he helped me, and then I perfected it myself. And I also started coaching other androgynous models to walk on the runway. So I actually was a coach as well.
So I went through talent school, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was separate from, it was modeling, it was acting, and then it was makeup and special effects.
Nice.
Runway is a fucking different beast. Yeah. That walk has to be
perfect.
Like,
yeah.
It's like when you, I don't know, me, like I'm not fit to be a model, but when I was trying to walk the runway, I overthought it so much I forgot how to walk. Like it's so different. You have to strut, you have to turn, pivot a certain way.
Love
it's so hard.
I love it.
So
loved it.
The walk and the strut, is it different for androgynous models?
No, because I train men. I've trained a lot of men. It's all in the confidence. Like once you see that runway and you see those people watching you, it's like you taking over. It's like all in your head. Like, you know what? I'm about to kill this walk. When I leave here, they're going to say, who was that? Such and such. That's what I aim for. The confidence, the head up, the walk, just the whole demeanor of everything. So,
man, you got to walk like you own that shit.
Exactly.
Like this is yours. Like you're meant for this shit.
You own the runway. Exactly.
Yeah. So what is your fashion influences?
My fashion influences, when you say fashion, are you talking about like designers or producer? I used to watch Top Model. I used to watch that with Tyra Banks.
Tyra Banks? Yeah.
I watched that and I thought that was a neat show. I used to want to be on something like that or create my own.
So creating your own like fashion?
Yeah, well, like, on TV, like, sending people home. But that's why I end up doing my own thing. But yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get into that. So being the first androgynous model, how was that experience? Because, I mean, you're breaking a mold. When I think of models, I think of women in skirts and nice dresses. But you walked in there and you said, no, I'm here. And you created your own shit. So how was that?
You know what? It was a beautiful experience. And sometimes, I'm not even going to lie, like, it was different. Like, I'd go to audition, and a lot of people back then, when I started modeling, it was like 2005 print, and then like actually walking around, it was like 2009 and up. So it wasn't really heard of as much. And if it wasn't like mainstream or people didn't really see it yet. Mm-hmm. So I would go to auditions and people would look like, huh? Like, really, and then I would get it, and they'd be surprised, like, what? So I think it was just like my confidence that made people gravitate toward me. Like, wow, she's a female and she's putting on guys' clothes, wearing it better than these guys. So
Yeah.
I loved it. I love the attention. I love everything that came with it, and because of that, like, I don't know if you're familiar with Remix the Runway / Surround Sound of Fashion.
Somewhat. I heard of it.
Okay, that was 2000 and what was that? 2009. 2009. I was the first androgynous woman to walk the runway, and it was nice. It was nice.
Did you feel any pressure?
No, I really can't say I did because, like I said, I perfected my walk. And when I would see the guy, it was some attractive guys there. I give it to them. Some had nice walks, some didn't. And when I saw their walks, I'm like, you guys suck. I'm like, no, I could kill a walk, you know? And it's crazy because they didn't really know which category to put me in because I was a female, but I wore men clothing, but I was still a female. So it was quiet as kept. It was said that because people had to vote for us, it was said that I had won pretty much. I won.
Really?
Yeah, but they couldn't give it to me because they didn't know how to say that I beat out a guy or I beat out a female in heels. But I already knew that they said I had the most votes. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. The experience was good. It was kind of overrated, but the experience was good. Definitely.
That's awesome. So moving on to taking over the runway, right? How did that happen? How did that form?
Well, once again, by me, like, just about being the first androgynous here in Chicago, you know, I was noticing that I was pretty much the only one. And so I said, you know what, I want to do something for other androgynous women, you know, that look up to me, because I started putting my videos on YouTube and I would get so many responses and views and likes that people say, oh my God, I want to be like you. I want to do what you do. So I said, you know what, why not do something for them as well? So what I did was Totter, which is taking over the runway. It was a fashion show competition amongst androgynous women, feminine women, the designers as well. So it was a competition, 3 different categories. So that's what I did from 2010 to 2012. So for 3 years, I had Totter, which all was a success. All sold out. You know, it was pretty cool. So that's what made me want to do that, to pretty much get them out there more exposure, you know, because it wasn't out yet.
Dude, that sounds awesome. So I have a question about that, right? You being an androgynous model and a big figure in the LGBT community, what does that mean to you, right? Because you have the voice now, right? What does that mean to you?
It honestly means, like, I know that, like, a lot of people look up to me, so I pretty much want to make sure that I'm giving out the right, you know, just the whole, you know, everything, you know, people looking at you. I know people look up to me, so I want to make sure I give out the right presentation of an androgynous model and an LGBT figure, because, like I said, a lot of people do look up to me, and that means a lot to me. So I just want to make sure I'm, you know, getting everything right, even though I'm not perfect. I just want to make sure I'm able to create this platform for them to be able to do it as well, and to make sure I'm doing it right for them. That makes any sense.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. That's awesome. So moving on from modeling to acting, how did you transition from modeling to acting?
Well, it's like when you model, you're actually, in a sense, you're acting, especially like when you're on the runway. You know, it's like you're turning it to someone else. You get what I'm saying? It's like
kind of.
It's like you're putting on this whole little other form of a person. Like
if somebody's wearing Gucci and they're like, you know, bougie, you got to kind of walk with a bougie thing or be a bougie person wearing Gucci.
Well, I wouldn't say that much, but it's more so like, okay, you can be sitting here just having a general conversation. Then when it's time to model, you got to change into the model mode. So it's pretty much like acting. Like when you're acting, you're just there sitting around learning your words, rehearsing. Now it's acting mode. It's like an on and off switch. You get what I'm saying? And if you notice, a lot of people that started modeling first started acting as well. It's like a door opener.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So what was the first experience for you on set?
My first time experience was on set with Cookie Hughes. She's a LGBT filmmaker here based out of Chicago as well. She inspired me so much. She reached out to me on Facebook and she said she wanted me to be in her movie. At the time, I was modeling. I was acting, but I was in plays. I was in a play in Atlanta for Lorena D. Brown, who actually had me on my first play. And
that's
thanks.
cool.
So Cookie had me come on set, and I really didn't know what to expect. So I was on set, and just to see her in action directing, I was so inspired. Like, this is it. Like, here it is. I finally realized, like, this is it. So as we're on set, I was trying to tell her about my book. She's like, yeah, that's nice. Now, can we act? And I'm like, okay, I get it. It wasn't my time yet. But I was so intrigued and just inspired, like, wow, like, this is it. This is what I want to do. Watching her direct made me want to, get into filmmaking and direct and acting even more.
So what was the first major project that you acted in?
Well, my first major, like I said, that I acted in was a play in Atlanta called Boys Don't Cry, which is also from Walk Like a Man, the book. It was like a skin out of there by Lorena D. Brown. But my first movie was Cookie Hughes' movie, which was it was called My Mama Said Your Mama's a Dyke. It was
That's so funny.
Yeah, it was a little comedy and whatnot.
Yeah, a mockumentary.
Yeah.
It was about taking a mother to a camp to get de-lesbianism or de-lesbianized.
Exactly. You saw that, huh?
That's a funny premise. That's a really funny. I checked your catalog
nice.
A few days ago prepping for this, but yeah, no, that's so funny. So how was it being on stage, right? Because that was your first. I mean, you're used to being on stage, walking the runway, but walking and memorizing lines and delivering them like a dance is different. Right. So how was that for you? Were you nervous?
Absolutely. I was very nervous. For one, I was nervous. It was my first time in a play. Second, it was Atlanta Pride's gay weekend. And third, I was like, oh my God, I can't mess up. If I mess up, they're going to know I messed up. So I was still learning my lines. So as I'm on stage learning my lines, well, not learning my lines, but just going over my...
You were on stage learning your lines, like, as the show was going, like, oh, shit, I'm supposed to say
not necessarily learn them, but you know how you have it down packed, but you're so nervous and you're trying to remember it. It wasn't coming as naturally, but pretty much they said I did a good job because for the most part, I knew everything, knew all the words, but it's like, it's live. So you're on this and you're like, oh my God, what are you supposed to say next? So
yeah, that's a different kind of pressure. I'd be nervous.
But they said I did pretty good for my first time. So it felt good to know.
That's good. Would you do it again?
Actually, I did do it in 2017. It was Got Good Religion. That was in Mississippi. And I did really good that time. I came back full force, my A game this time, years later.
Nice.
So, yeah, it was definitely fun.
When you were on set with Cookie, trying to tell her about your book, what led you to write The Lies That We Tell, But the Secrets We Keep?
Well, it all started... Well, actually, that is my second book. So my first book was Who Was She, which is, it was like a poetry book. And so I wrote that one. And then I wanted to challenge myself to actually write a real book with actually so many different chapters leading up to the next with a conclusion, in which the other one did. But this one was more like a story instead of poetry. So I wrote that and... Well, wait, the question was, you asked me what led me to write the book or the movie?
Yeah. Well, that's the second question I'm gonna get to. But what led you to write the book?
Oh well, I'm not gonna say it's based on true events, but the title itself, "The Lies We Tell, But the Secrets We Keep," it's a lot of people are dealing with that in real life. So I sort of wanted to bring that to the forefront, especially what goes on in the movie with people living double lives and messing with men and messing with female all at the same time, and how it can affect you and the people around you. So I wanted to bring that to the forefront first and foremost, because a lot of people can relate to that, especially my fans, when they tell me, they say, oh my God, your movie, your book, it changed my life. I've been through that. So I really wanted to bring that to the forefront, because back then a lot of people weren't really talking about that at the time.
So how different was it adapting the novel into a movie? Was it like a different experience for you?
Well, it was, because the book, it's like you reading it and you writing it, but the screenplay, you have to get a professional person, which once again, Cookie Hughes, she actually wrote the screenplay initially, and then as time went on and we started changing things up, I added to it. So I became the co-writer because of my adding to it as well. So she pretty much wrote it, and then I added to it. So that's why we combined as co-writers, because we did it.
And then you ended up doing 4 parts to it, and it has an amazing following. Every time it's posted or people are sending screenshots saying, I've watched this 4 or 5 times, you have a tremendous support around that series. How is it every time you get on set doing part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4? Is it feeling any different with every movie?
Is it? Whew. Let's just say they've all had their ups and downs and good and bad. And I mean, I wouldn't change it for the world, but it's adrenaline rush, definitely. Especially going from part 1, never doing my own movie before, not realizing what this is about, what doors is about to open. Like the first movie premiere we had at the Portage Theater. Let me explain. So when we pulled up, like it was like people standing outside blocks long, waiting to get in, and I could not believe it. I was like, "Oh my God, my mom is at the box office, so it's just her." I'm not thinking I would need any help. I had rented a stretch Hummer for the cast and all of us. So as we're getting out, I'm looking at this like my mom needs help. So I didn't even get the chance to suck in the moment because I said I got to help my mom. So I'm in the box office and I'm helping her. Some of the cast, some of the people involved with the crew, they're helping. Collecting tickets and money to get in because it's filled 1,300 seats, so it was at least 1,100 to 1,200 people. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Did you ever fathom that, like starting off the series, that one day you would end up filling up an arena or a movie theater with 1,100 people want to see
I
your movie?
had no idea. I did not expect that at all. So I was taken back, definitely. Like, wow, this can't be. But it was a great feeling, and everybody enjoyed it. They loved it. Like, I didn't direct the first one. I directed 2, 3, and 4. So 2 became a little harder because I didn't even want to be a director. I was just thrown in the fire, sort of sense. But after I got a feel for with part 3, that was an amazing feeling. Part 4 was an amazing feeling, but I had a lot of obstacles in part 4. I don't even want to speak on it right now because I went through so much, but it was a learning experience. That's all I can say.
So I haven't seen part 4. Okay, I'm gonna be totally honest. Is this the end of the series, or is there a possibility for
you got to
part 5?
see part 4. And once you see part 4, you'll know. So
I'm gonna have to. So if you were given a chance to reboot Set It Off, Set It Off, right? Man, that movie was amazing. I remember being little. It came out like in 1996. Yep. I remember being little, crying. I had no idea why I was crying, but that movie I love that movie, and that's on Tubi, so after this I'm going to watch it. But if you were given a chance to direct a reboot with Set It Off, who would you cast as the leading actor?
That's a good question. I would definitely say I would want to play Cleo.
I was gonna say you should cast yourself as Cleo.
I don't know, something about her role, like, and not just because she was gay. I don't know, she was just so so real with it. Didn't care. It's just I like her personality, definitely. When she died in the end, I cried. I was like, no.
Oh, in the streets when they just lit her up. Oh my God.
No. But let me see, who would I pick? Now, would they have to be like people that I already known, or people just that I know that act? So
let's it's up to you. It's your ball. It's in your court.
I'm not sure. I'm not even, but I know definitely me Cleo. Definitely me Cleo. Okay. I'm gonna have to come back to that.
You know who I see? I don't know in which role, but Tiffany Haddish, for some reason I just see her playing one of those roles. I think Tiffany Haddish. I mean, I think she has. I mean, she does a lot of comedy, but I feel that this would be a challenging role for her.
I don't know. I would say definitely Regina Hall. I love Regina Hall. She's hilarious.
She was on the tip of my tongue. She was on the tip of my tongue.
I definitely would say her more so for Frankie maybe. Yeah.
I was thinking, who does Jada play? What's her character's name? Is that TT?
No. She plays Stoney. Yeah.
Stoney, okay. But it's so much of an age gap with Regina Hall and
Yeah.
Tiffany Haddish. But Willow Smith. I mean, she's like in her
Yeah.
20s, right?
She is. She's the baby. Yeah.
I mean, she kind of looks like the mom, so I think it'd be pretty cool. What's his name? Ice Cube's son played himself in NWA. I think that'd be pretty dope.
Yeah.
So you got one more. Who else are you gonna
So
cast?
let's see. So me as Cleo, Regina Hall is Frankie, as Stoney. Let me see. Who would I as Stoney? Let me think. I gotta think hard with that one. Somebody who's very pretty and can act to me. Let me see. It's a good question. I don't know. That's a hard one. It's a hard one.
It is.
I don't know. I can't even say.
Bad girl Riri, will we give it to Rihanna?
I don't know if she can act.
I mean, she is pretty, but she does have. I don't know. Wait, no. Did she play Ocean's 11 or Ocean's 8?
She did?
She had a movie out. I still have it. I bought it. I haven't even opened it, so that pretty much shows how much interest I have in it. But yeah, she acts in it. She has a role. I would say Cardi B too, but she's too ratchet.
I thought I was the only one that thought that. I like her music, but she just she's too extra. That's what she's kind of extra. That's what they like.
But the thing is, but that's exactly how the women are. Like from my dad's block, man, they're extra. All like that, so hood and so loud and extras. Like, dude, you didn't have to scream coronavirus like that. You didn't.
It's getting real.
She just made
a song out of it.
So, out of all the different fields you've been in, which one do you find the most satisfying?
Most satisfying. Let me see. It's between directing and acting. And I say that because I love being on set and watching like what I wrote come to life through my actors. I love being there to coach them and let them know, like, no, let's do it over. Let's do it this way. I love being in control. I love being a boss. But I also love acting and showing my acting range because I've grown a lot from when I first started acting. So it's between acting and directing. I definitely have to say those two.
Isn't it like it's such a weird feeling, right? Like when you see what you wrote transition into film, and when it's like the scene is done and it's perfect, you get chill bumps. There is no way. You're like, even as the person that writes it, your mouth is just dropped like, holy shit, I wrote that.
Yeah, definitely.
So talking about range and acting, right? Have you ever thought to yourself of a role that you would love to be in because it would challenge you?
I'm trying to think. Have I?
Something that's like totally like out of your norm or what people would be like
somebody with a dress on.
No, not even that. No, and I think like Kevin Hart, right? He's a comedian, funny guy, been in nothing but comedy blockbusters. He has a movie coming out where he's playing a father, a single father who lost the wife.
Okay,
she died. So I think that's challenging because hey, you can't make anybody laugh. You have to be serious. So is there a role that you can see yourself in? Like, man, I would love to do that because
it's crazy that you say that. I'm actually doing that now in Dorian Johnson's new series, New Ties. So it's crazy because normally people cast me for the nice, attractive, dominant female, suave, charismatic, sex appeal. They normally cast me for that, but with Dorian, I play a hitman, and I've always wanted to play a hitman. Yes,
no shit, really?
Yeah, I'm a badass. I'm killing people.
What? Shout out Dorian, man. Man, Utah's got so much steam. It's out on Amazon Prime now. Go check it out and check it out at killingthearttv.com.
Yep.
Man, that was a free plug right there. So that's a challenging role
because I always wanted to do something different than, like I said, being charismatic, being a sex appeal,
Yeah. Now you're being something menacing, right? So do you listen to something in particular to get you into that mindset, or how do you prepare to be
it's crazy because before all of the acting, I used to watch The Wire with Snoop from The Wire. So I used to be like, wow, she's a badass. So now I was like, I'm pretty much emulating her character like 10 years later. See what I'm saying? But my own little niche to it So yeah,
That's
I
what's
like it
up.
so far. It's different. It's definitely different.
Oh, that's awesome. And that's in
It's
season two,
at the
correct?
end of season 1, episode 5, and then it goes into season 2. Yep.
Oh, okay. So, your website, you're great at branding yourself. You have a hell of a following. Why is self branding so important?
I honestly feel because no one will help you get yourself out there more than you, and that's the truth. No one is going to take the time that you would to promote yourself, and that's honestly the truth. Like if you just sit around and not trying to get yourself out there, it's pretty much not going to get anywhere. So you have to be your own brand. You have to promote. Just get it out there. Social media is a big platform now for people to get out there. Like so many people are getting established from Facebook, YouTube. Yes, all of
TikTok.
this just because they're getting themselves out there themselves. So it's possible.
Mm.
So back when we didn't have all the social media stuff, it was harder. Now they make it easier. Like look at the guy. His name's Blame It On Quay. He's the guy. He wears like the lipstick and the wigs and stuff. And he was on Tyler Perry on tour with him. I couldn't believe it. And it's another comedian named TT with. I'm just like, wow, these people are really doing it. They're really making it happen for themselves, like getting themselves out there with social media. That is the number way to do to bring yourself social media. You get something to go viral, you get things, get your name out there. Just keep going. YouTube, just keep posting. Make sure it's good content, of course.
Of course.
And someone to pick it up. You just got to keep going. You just can't let anybody close the door. One door closes, another possibly open. You just got to keep on going until you can't go anymore. And that's the truth.
And you got to treat yourself like property. Your equity. The more you invest in yourself, the more that you put yourself out there, the more people would want to invest in you. So if you're looking for, like a Pepsi commercial or a Sprite contract, you got to make yourself known that, hey, I am worth 3 million. I have X amount of followers. So like
Exactly.
self-promoting is like 101 to success. Like no matter what avenue you're in life, as long as you self-promote and you invest within yourself, you'll grow.
Exactly. And that's my new pitch when people ask. Listen, I have over 50 fans with my logo tatted on them on my movie title. If that doesn't express it enough, I don't know what
You
will.
got people with your name and your logos tatted on them?
You didn't know that? Yes.
No.
Look, they have either MVP Productions, they have the logo, or they have the lies we tell, but the secrets we keep. Yes.
What?
Yeah, it's a lot of fans.
No.
Yeah.
Do you have pictures of it? Because that is trippy.
Absolutely. It's on my Facebook
Wow, that's
page.
awesome. So do you have that framed up in your house somewhere?
No, I don't.
No, I would. I'd have that like in the bathroom every time I'm in the bathroom. But like I remind myself, like, yeah, I'm the shit. Like, yeah.
No, fiance wouldn't go for that. But it's a remembrance for me on my Facebook page, and I share it every blue moon to say, never forget. People still get them. Somebody got it last year, and it's been going on ever since the movie. They say my movie's inspired them, and I mean, I love it, but it's kind of crazy because if you think about the movie was about two individuals cheating on their spouses with each other, and people dying and almost getting killed.
Yeah, you gotta ask what their inspiration is. What did inspire you to do? What did you do? What happened? Did you kill anybody?
Well, I think it's the connection that Ronnie and Bree had. That's what they love about it.
The Team Ronnie, Team Bree shirts. Yeah, I seen them.
Yeah,
I seen them.
So
that's awesome.
That's what it's about.
So what's next for you? Oh wait!
Well,
Before we get into that, how could people reach you? Because you were talking about your website and self-branding. Go ahead, plug yourself up.
Well, everybody can reach me on social media. Milon V Parker at IG Milon V Parker, Snapchat Milon V Parker. Even follow the fan pages Ronnie at The Lies We Tell. No, Ronnie from The Lies We Tell movie. Actually, my More Than Friends movie too. I have a fan page for that. The Lies We Tell Boutiques We Keep fan page, and my website, of course, MilonVParker.com. There where you can subscribe to watch all of my movies, and you'll also see a separate page of MVP recommends with different movies that I enjoy watching that I recommend to you all. And I also have clothing, Team Ronnie, Team Bree. I have so much stuff on my website. Just go check it out, MilonVParker.com. I'm sure it'll be someone that you all
It is.
love.
I got lost in it. Like I was reading your bio, then I went from bios to movie. I was on there for hours. You have great content. a lot of
Thank you.
things to siphon through and look through. It's a great page with a lot of content, guys. Milan's been out here working. So what's next for you?
Thanks. Well, what's next for me after the stay home order is over? I definitely still want to do my pilot, Unapologetic Women. I started in 2018, had castings calls, but no, didn't find the right cast for the four main women. So I put it on hold and I ended up doing part four. So I really want to do that. I also want to do another movie that me and my fiance are writing together. Want to do that, and I want to actually do my own podcast.
Yes, I'm waiting for that. But let's hold on. You say you were writing something with your fiance. First off, congratulations. I know the day is coming up soon, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks.
congratulations. But you guys are writing a movie together?
Actually, she was the co-writer on the last part four.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. She was.
The couple that grinds, man.
Yep, the couple that grind shines. Yep.
So, and your podcast, right? So you coming out with that for sure, right? Because you're coming out to the public saying it.
Yep. I'm gonna do
All
it.
right.
Finally, I've been procrastinating far too long. Like people have hit me up telling me I should start one, and at first I'm like, nah, but then more and more research. I think that's something I want to do because I really want to be the voice for the people, So yeah, why not?
That's awesome.
Give them something they look forward to.
So what advice do you have to give to anybody aspiring to be in the entertainment industry and modeling, publishing author?
I definitely would make sure they do their research first, see what they be getting themselves involved in, making sure that's exactly something that they want to invest their time in and just about go for it, and don't let anyone come in between them and their goals. Like I've said before, if one door closes, keep going because eventually someone will say yes. And if not, I'm big on this. Be your own door opener. Like me, I write, produce, and direct predominantly all of my own movies. I've been in other people's movies like over 10, 15, but I still do my own as well. So pretty much I'm my own door opener. And I'm still getting it, acknowledged for doing everything that I do, acting, the writing, everything else. So, just never give up. I feel like, if you're not where you want to be, you just got to keep on pushing, and I feel like as long as I live, I'm never going to give up. I'm eventually going to get there or damn near close, but I'm still going to always be my own door opener.
That's what's up. So do you have any special shout outs?
Actually, I do. I definitely got to give a shout out to my guy best friend named Darren Hardaway. He encourages me even when he probably needs the encouraging himself. He was another guy that encouraged me to do podcasts, He's like, man, I think you should do one. Maybe even you and your girl should do one. I'm like, because you're the voice of your people. Like, they love you. So I think that's something you should take a look into. So I did. And then from watching yours, from listening to yours as well, I'm like, wow, I can't see myself doing that, being that, person for them as well. So, yeah, that. But also I want to shout out my fiance, Simone, for always putting up with me and my new goals and plans. And my craziness and still loving me. And last, I gotta get a shout out to the creators of MVP, my mom and dad, for always supporting me in everything I do, no matter what. They are my biggest supporters, so I gotta give a shout out to them, the creators of MVP.
That's what's up. I was laughing earlier because I always come home with a new idea of doing shit different, and one day I ended up finding a place where you could buy like chickens, like live chickens, like real chickens. For like really fucking cheap, for like $1 or $2, and people were buying them off me for like $6. I'm like, wait, I can make a business out of this. So no lie, I went to the store and I bought 34 baby chickens, and that was the worst mistake I ever fucking did in my life. Did you know that chickens grow up to be teenagers in like 2 days?
Oh
yeah, no, they ugly. Nobody wants to buy them after 2 days.
So wait a minute, what were you doing with the chickens? Because when you say baby chickens, I feel so
they're
bad
baby.
for
So
the chicken.
okay, we bought 3 originally, right? I think it was like 2 or 3, and they were like 3 for like $5 or $8. I don't know what it was, and we brought them home, and we thought one of them was a rooster, and fucking roosters are annoying. So I was like, nah, this is not happening. So I posted it, seeing who would want to buy it. and I think I put like $2 more than what I paid for it. And then people were jumping on me like crazy and wanted to buy it. So I looked at my wife. I'm like, I think I found myself a new business venture. So after work, or actually I was on lunch, I ran to the pet store and I bought 30 baby chickens. And I didn't realize how to house baby chickens and, keep them warm. So we ended up, from the ceiling, I ended up hanging a heat lamp, and they were all sleeping in a baby pool, like one of those plastic pools you get from Walmart for like $8. So fucking what happened? So at night they're all in the pool, but like once you get out of a certain area of the pool, it gets really cold, and once they get cold, they start crying and cheeping like crazy. So like we didn't sleep that night. The babies were just falling out the pool, crying, falling out. It was just the worst.
Wow. Yeah. Did you record it?
No, I regretted it. I was kicking myself in the ass. I'm like, I don't want to remember this shit.
What did you do with them?
We ended up selling them, but like we ended up profiting, right? But that whatever. But it was the worst week of my life. Like I had to people were backing out, buying them, and the people weren't like, it pissed me off because people weren't taking care of them the way they were supposed to. Like I told them, hey, bring a box, make sure you have some bedding in there. You need a heat lamp. Do you have a heat lamp? Yada, yada. So, man, I just got into all your shout outs and shit, but
that's okay.
I was laughing, but I ended up selling it within a week, but yeah, never again. My wife always deals with my shit, but yeah. I always come home with crazy ideas.
I can imagine. But a couple more shout out. Well, I want to say a couple more things just since I remember. I didn't want to forget. I definitely got to give a shout out again to Jeremy M. Jones. He helped save the last Part 4 movie premiere. Like, I forgot to mention this. We stayed up like 4 or 5 days trying to finish editing it.
Really?
To make sure it was ready because my editor quit on me 2 weeks before the movie premiere, so we had to stay up and edit it. Yes.
What? Like 4 or 5 days before the premiere?
Yes, like we would stay up editing it, take like a 5-minute nap, or he'd leave, come back. Yes, yes.
And I know with certain theaters, you need to have that in within a week. Or was that an issue with you guys? Because 4 to 5 is so close to the crunch.
You know what? They wanted us to do like 2 days before. They wanted us to come show it, but it was up to me at that point. I said, look, I'm gonna have to come show this the day of and risk it. So yeah, I risked it and it was ready. It wasn't 100% like I wanted to be. I won't lie, because we had to use audio from the camera, which wasn't the best. So the audio wasn't as good. So if you all came to the movie premiere that's listening in and you didn't know, because the first screening I did express that the audio wasn't going to be as clear as it should be. So the second one, it wasn't, because I didn't get a chance to express that to people. So this is the reason. But now when you go to my website, I had to pay someone to have the audio fixed, because the audio, listen, like I said, Part 4, I went through a lot, but hey, trials and tribulations, you go through stuff and you overcome it, and I overcame it. So now it's streaming only on my website, which is milanvparker.com. You can see Part 1, you can see Part 3, Part 4, More Than Friends, and Part 2 can only be seen on Amazon or Tubi TV for free. And so, yeah, also I want to give a shout out to my buddy Christy Turner for her movie that she just put on Amazon, Street Cred. Check it out on Amazon. Dorian Johnson, New Ties is on Amazon and his website, killingarttv.com. So, yeah, had to put them out there.
That is dope. Thank you for jumping on. I had a blast. You had so many stories. You have so much wisdom and knowledge. You're a great person to connect with. Thank you for jumping on, and thank you for your time, Milan.
Thank you as well. You take it easy.
All right, man. Likewise. Bye.
All right, bye.
If you enjoyed this week's episode, please make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay centered on all Indie Center podcast episodes. If you are an independent creator and have a story to share and want to have a sit down, please email me at indiecenter.podcast@gmail.com. That's indiecenter.podcast@gmail.com. If you have sponsorship inquiries, I'd love to help local businesses. Please email me at indiecenter.podcast@gmail.com. Until next Monday, guys. Peace.